Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Excuse me. It seems like I have this weird, I don't know, glow going on today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, 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 hello to all of you who are joining live and to all of you who will be catching this by the replay. It is a little after 9 Eastern Standard Time here in the Midwest. And we are going to be talking about day 5 of the Purpose Driven Life. Hello to all of you who are joining, all of you who are live, all of you who are catching by the replay. If you are catching by replay, please put in the comments replay so that I know you were on, that I know you were here, that I know you were able to enjoy and get some benefit from this live session. I'll just wait a couple more minutes. I know I'm getting started just a few minutes late. Had a little bit of snafu this morning, but about to jump into the meat of what we're going to be talking about today. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello to everyone who is joining. My name is LaKeisha Mallett. I am a strategic success coach, and I help you strategically create the roadmap, the game plan, the blueprint to get to your destination of success in your life, business, and with your finances. So that is what I do. I'm so glad that you all are tuning in and on today. I'll give people a few more minutes just to jump on here. Also, if you're on, share this with your friends, your community, your group, those that you are connected with who you know would like to be, plan to be, want to be on their path to uncovering their life's purpose and serving it to humanity. And that is what we are about here. We are a community of people who are uncovering our life's gifts, those hidden talents, those hidden treasures, those hidden things that are inside of us that we have been birthed with so that we can birth them and serve it to humanity. Our prosperity comes from fulfilling our purpose. Our true prosperity, I should say, comes from fulfilling our life's purpose. And so day 5 is on seeing life from God's view. For those of you who are just joining in, we are on day 5 of Rick Warren's The Purpose Driven Life, and we're going to be discussing seeing life from God's view. So, what I do is I like to share and highlight some of the key points that stood out to me from that day's session or lesson, and then I'll share those with you. And then on Fridays, I'll do a Q&A, pretty much maybe a recap of what we've learned Monday through Thursday. And then if you have any questions, I should say, I'll provide the answers to the best of my ability from my expertise as a coach, from reading the book and the gems I've gleaned from it, and then also from just my knowledge that I have of the Bible. So today, on our path to purpose, we're reading The Purpose Driven Life, day 5, seeing life from God's view. It says, the way you see your life shapes your life. How you define life determines your destiny. Your perspective will influence how you invest your time, spend your money, use your talents, and value your relationships. So that we can almost stop and have a full hour discussion just on that part right there. So I talk a lot about paradigms and what paradigms are and how they are formed and how they shape our attitudes, how they have also shaped our culture, how they shape your family. And so one of the things is we do see life through the lens of our own eyes. We don't see life as it really is. We see life the way we are. So you might encounter someone, you might encounter a situation, you might encounter a specific circumstance, and you don't see the bigger picture of what the situation or circumstance really is about because you only focus on the thing that really strikes an accord with you. So we see our life, we see our relationships, we see our friendships from the viewpoint of who we are. And sometimes people don't get that. Let me see a good way to explain it to you. We are a reflection of what we see. We are a reflection of what we see. So sometimes linking it to sometimes when we are in toxic relationship, men or women, we think it's the person that's at fault. And yes, that person may have their faults, they may have their issues, they have their things that they need to deal with. But we need to look inwardly and see, what is it about me that is either drawing me to this situation, connecting me to this person, connecting me to this particular entity, this being, this situation, this business enterprise. What is it in me that if I don't like what I see on the outside, what do I need to change in me in order to say this is not a good situation for me to be in? Or what is the value that I'm to gain from this situation before I move on? Because we don't want to repeatedly do and repeat those things that don't seem to be working well for us, that don't seem to be serving us, that don't seem to be for our best interest. And there is something that Napoleon Hill said in one of his books that most people love. If you're an avid studier of personal development, self-growth, self-help, in his book, Think and Grow Rich, he has the self-confidence formula. And in the self-confidence formula, there's something that I now live by, that he put in the self-confidence formula. And I say it and I speak it over my life, my business, my relationships, is that I will not engage in any business transaction, any partnership. I will not engage in anything that does not benefit all parties that are involved. So all relationships should be mutually beneficial. Business transactions should be mutually beneficial. When you have one person only on the giving end and one person only on the receiving end, or being a taker, if it's no mutual beneficial exchange, if there's no value exchange between those two parties, those two individuals, then it's going to be a lopsided scale. And when the scales are off balance, then there is it leaves room for, or time for, a breakdown in the communication in the relationship, a breakdown in the business relationship, a breakdown of trust, a breakdown of mutual respect. All of those things tend to happen when we are in relationships, friendships, business situations that are one-sided. So I choose to only engage in business activity, in relationships that are going to be mutually beneficial, that we are going to work together to make life better for each other and for everyone else. I'm not going to give my all to you, and I'm not going to expect you to give your all to me without anything in exchange in advance. So it says, if I asked you how you picture your life, what image would come to your mind? That image is your life's metaphor. It's the view of life that you hold consciously or unconsciously in your mind. It's your description of how life works and what you expect from it. Your unspoken life metaphors influences your life more than you realize. It determines your expectations, your values, your relationships, your goals, and your priorities. For instance, if you think life is a party, your primary value in life will be having fun. If you see life as a race, you will value speed and will probably be in a hurry much of the time. If you view life as a marathon, which it is, you will value endurance. If you see life as a battle or game, winning will be very important to you. And so a lot of times people view life as a game of cards. And I have often used this analogy too in my talks and when I coach with people, is that sometimes you wish you were dealt a different hand, whether it be because of, a certain situation that happened, a certain person you've come across in your path that maybe you spent too much time with. Maybe it was a business that you were involved in and it was an associate that you had or an acquaintance that you had that maybe burned you or did you wrong, and it's something that you continue to think about, like, my life would be so different if I had not married that person, got in that business, or befriended an individual. But the thing is, all of those pieces, all of those things were intricate to your growth, to your development, and to you becoming who you were meant to be. But you can also win with the hand you've been dealt. So it's not that you have a losing hand. You may not have the hand that you would have wished to be dealt. If the cards were stacked in your favor, you probably wouldn't want the hand you've been dealt. But you still have a winning hand. You still have a winning hand because you can design the life that you want. And again, I talk about this all the time, and that's why our Success by Design Masterclass was created, is to help you figure out how to win with the hand you've been dealt. So we're going to go to our next thing. So it says, life is a test, life is a trust, and life is a temporary assignment. These ideas are the foundation of purpose-driven living. Life on earth is a test. The life metaphor is seen in various stories throughout the Bible, and character is both developed and revealed by tests, and all of life is a test. And there's a quote that I heard many, many years ago that I love. It says, your character is built when you have nothing, but your character is tested when you have everything. So what does that mean? It's when you don't have all of the pieces that you think that make up a complete puzzle, when you feel like you don't have the winning hand. Your character is developed in your action steps, your endurance, your tenacity, your will to be better, do better, become better, have better. All of that is, your will is developed when everything doesn't look like, your character, I should say, is developed when everything does not look like it is moving in your favor. But what happens when you do have the winning hand? What happens when you are no longer the underdog? What happens when you are on top? How do you treat people? How do you treat life? How do you treat your money? How do you treat those that are closest to you? Do you continue to respect them? Do you take an air of arrogance that you are in some way better? Because no one is better than you and no one is worse than you. We all are equal in the sight of God. We all are equal. We all have different gifts, talents, and abilities, but no one is better and no one is worse. And if you ever seen the movie Roots, in the opening scene, they hold the baby up, and the words are so powerful that I said, the only one greater than you, pretty much is how it goes. The only one greater than you is the one above, is the ultimate creator of all of us. So when you think about the only person that is greater than you, then you don't have to be intimidated when you're in a room with someone whose gift is different than yours. You don't have to be intimidated when you're surrounded by people who are moving and doing things a little bit different than you have. You don't have to be intimidated or feel less than when you're around someone who maybe has more than you in some aspects, because they have just learned how to maybe uncover their gift and serve it to humanity. Maybe they've learned how to be good at something. Maybe they learned how to master a trade, but that does not make them better than you in any shape or form. Anyway, you are valuable. Your gift is valuable. What your unique offering is valuable, and the world needs it. So there's no reason to be intimidated. There's no reason to feel less than. There's no reason to feel like you don't belong. You belong in any room that your feet step into. You belong in any place where God orders your steps. You belong in any business situation that is going to be mutually beneficial for all parties involved, right? Okay, good. I get some shit in. Okay, so the next thing in nothing in is insignificant in your life. All things will work together for the good. Even those things that you think were not so good, they play a very pivotal role. They play a very vital role in the shaping, the development, the growth of who you are. So, like we talked about yesterday on day 4, we talked about we don't get the diamond unless the coal goes through its process. We don't get to enjoy the beautiful oak. We don't get to enjoy the roses, the flowers, unless they get the seed gets planted in the dirt, in the soil. There's a lot going on underground before that flower becomes something that we can enjoy, we can smell, that we can put in our kitchen or dining room. There's a lot that goes into that process, but we don't see the process behind the scenes. And the same thing with your life. Those situations, those circumstances, those things that have happened, all are playing a vitally important role in the development and character of you, the growth of you. All of it plays a very important part, even those pieces that weren't so good or we thought weren't so good. They all play a key role. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to share, life on earth is a trust. This is the second biblical metaphor of life. Our time on earth and our energy, intelligence, opportunities, relationships, and resources are all gifts from God that He has entrusted to our care and management. We are stewards over whatever God gives us. And so there's a story that Rick Warren shares in this session, this daily session, that talks about some friends of theirs, him and his wife, offered them the use of their house in Hawaii on vacation. And he said the couple told them, basically, mi casa su casa, my house is your house, enjoy it to the fullest. So him and his wife, they cooked, they enjoyed nice dinners, they swam in the pool, they enjoyed all the luxuries and amenities that the house had to offer. But they also remembered to take care of the house because it wasn't theirs. And so the same thing applies to our life and our life circumstances. We have been given the tremendous ability to be able to enjoy life, to enjoy all that life offers. But our life is truly not our own. So we can enjoy life to the fullest. But also we've been given a gift that we're supposed to uncover and serve to humanity. I say it all the time, and I will continue to say it. Generations not yet born are supposed to benefit from the gift that is in you. So generations not yet born are supposed to benefit from the gift that was birthed in you, that you are supposed to birth. So when you think about that, you think about life not being your own, means you should enjoy life, live it up, enjoy it to the fullest. But don't forget, your life is not your own. Your life is supposed to be a blessing to someone else. That's why God has you here. That's why you're here. That is why you're here. That's why we're on the path to our purpose. We're uncovering our life's purpose, and we're going to serve it to humanity. Okay. Okay, so then he says, the Bible says, if you are untrustworthy about worldly wealth, who will trust you with the true riches of heaven? This is a very important truth. God says there's a direct relationship between how I use money and the quality of my spiritual life. How I manage money, worldly wealth as they call it, determines how much God can trust us with spiritual blessings, true wealth. I believe this is so true. One of the things that I often share with my clients, and if you join Success by Design Masterclass, we'll go over this in one of our early lessons. We talk about developing your life and financial philosophy. What is your life and financial philosophy? What is the thing that you stand for? What does your life stand for? And what does money represent to you? And yes, money might represent freedom. Money might represent all of these wonderful things that we say about it. But what is your money philosophy? Because you can say money represents freedom, but you can have a spirit of greed or hoarding, and you can have a spirit of just being a tightwad, and that's not being a blessing or a benefit to anyone else. Then you can also have a spirit of love and choose to give all that you have away and not leaving enough to take care of you, your responsibilities, and those in your care. So there is a fine balance between altruism and, there's a fine line between greed and giving. There's a fine line between how you choose to manage and handle the financial resources that you have. There's a fine line between that. So either we can manage and handle our finances in a way that not only we benefit, we become wealthy, we prosper, but that we use that to prosper others. You do more good when you are in a financial place that you can help others. You can be the best kept secret. But if you don't have the resources, the financial resources, you will be and stay a best kept secret. You can do more good to advance the world when you have your financial resources in place. And I'm not saying we're building wealth to hoard it. We're going to use our gifts, our talents, our treasure, our finances to serve humanity. It's also going to serve us, and it's going to serve humanity. So again, that's one of the things that we really dive deep into in the Success by Design Masterclass. We uncover those giftings. We figure out how to serve it to humanity. We develop a life purpose and a money purpose. We develop our financial purpose. We develop our confessions, our affirmations. Those things are mantras, those things that we are going to use to define our life and define how we're going to move and interact with others. Like I said, it's easy to follow a path to success when you've been given an outline or a blueprint. It's easy for a contractor to build a house when he's looking at the blueprint. But if he just has wood and brick and mortar in front of him, he doesn't know what shape or form or pattern even that the building is supposed to take. Is it supposed to be a building or a house? Is it supposed to be a little house, or is it supposed to be a mansion? When you don't have the blueprint, you don't know. You're operating blindly. You don't know how all of the pieces are meant to fit together. And so in Success by Design, we help you figure out how all of your life's pieces fit together. And we really have to understand that all of our life's pieces do fit together. They all play a significant role in the development of who we are, the true development of our gifts, the development of we use our time to fully develop ourselves so we can give ourselves back to the world. We take our time to develop the gifts within so we can better understand that gift and how it's meant to serve mankind. We continue to develop and cultivate that treasure that is in us so we can figure out how to give that treasure away. So when we think about living a purpose-driven life, we're uncovering our purpose to serve humanity, to serve mankind, but we're uncovering our purpose because it's the key to our prosperity. And prosperity is in all areas. We'll be healthy, we'll be wealthy, our relationships will be blessed and thriving. All of those pieces work together. Again, there's nothing good in building wealth if you're miserable. There's nothing good about building wealth if you're not going to share. It's no good and creating a life full of impact and purpose if you're not going to go out and change the world? We're all meant to be world changers. Now, the way I've been placed and positioned here to change the world may not be the same way that you were placed in position to change the world, but you're here to change it. Martin Luther King had a role. Susan B. Anthony had a role. Colonel Sanders had a role. Henry Ford had a role. These are people I've studied over the course of years. I've studied. They all had a role. You have a role. And the purpose-driven life is going to partly help you uncover the role. So for all of you who are just joining on, we are reading The Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren. Today we covered day 5. We are learning how to uncover our gifts, uncover our talents, uncover the purpose that God has in us, and then serve it to all of humanity. So this is LaKeisha Mallett. I am your strategic success coach. So I'm always going to end our lives with a question for you. What are you going to do today to change the world? How is your life going to be of an impact and influence to other people? What are you going to do? Are you going to continue to work year after year, day after day, month after month in a job that you don't enjoy for the sake of a paycheck? Are you going to continue to pursue relationships and business endeavors that are not going to serve you or them? Or are you going to choose to step back and create a design, a blueprint, a game plan for your life so that you can get to your destination of success? That is the question I have for you. I would love to hear from you. If you've taken anything of value from this live today, I would love for you to share with your community, share with your connections, share with your friends, your families, those you love, even those you don't. share the live stream today. Also, I want you to like the video. Like the video so I know you were here, know that you enjoyed the video, and then I want you to comment. I want you to comment. What was your key takeaway from our lesson that we discussed today? We are talking about day 5 of the Purpose-Driven Life. What was your key takeaway? What was your moment of clarity? What happened that you said, as a result of what was shared, I'm going to take this information and do something different in my life? That is all I have for you today. I wish you the best. I hope you have a wonderfully blessed day, and we will chat again on Q&A Friday tomorrow to your success.